The second thing about strength is it serves others. I mean, willingness to die for the people you lead is a prerequisite, okay? I'm not afraid. I'm willing to lay down my life for you, okay? That's clearly the message of strength. It's what Trump displayed on Saturday, and people's reaction to it is amazing. They instantly calm down. Dad's home. Everything is okay. It's received on a visceral level. So to the extent that the campaign, and I'm not a messaging person, obviously, I'm like half insane and can't stop talking, so I'm not good at messaging, but to the extent that they can convey that, you know, it's fine, actually. And I do think the campaign is trying to say that in its unity message. And a lot of people hear unity and they think, well, unity implies some sort of compromise conversation. You can't have a conversation with people who are unwilling to compromise. The left, which is a religious movement, is unwilling to compromise on any level at all. They won't even admit men can't become women. So how can you have unity with people like that? And of course you can't. But I think what they're really trying to say is, let's ignore some of the insanity, actually. Be in charge. You don't need to constantly remind people you're in charge. Just do it. I mean, a good father's not constantly telling you how hard he works to, you know, pay for the food you're eating. He just does it. And you notice after a while, and you're calmed by that. And I think maybe that's the message. We don't need to respond to all this nonsense. You're too small to respond to. That's what I would do. No one wants to hear, like, why is MSNBC still on the air? Nobody watches it. Same with CNN. Nobody watches it. And if I look back on my life, I've worked at both CNN and MSNBC. So for me, it's, you know, the hatred is absolutely real. But too much, though. Too much. Unhelpfully. Don't feel hatred. That itself is a sign of weakness, in my opinion, and lack of self-discipline. But why are we even talking about them? Nobody watches. Nobody watches. I mean, my nephew get drunk and post something on X, and he's got more viewers than MSNBC primetime. I'm serious. So, like, why are we even giving them oxygen by engaging with them? Their audience is tiny. I hope that's part of what they're saying. I saw Don Jr., who is really my favorite person in Trump world, who really I think does understand, I shouldn't even be saying this, but it's true, understands the voters and how they feel like on a real level, on a gut level. But I saw him do an interview with MSNBC today, and they're like, you know, are you going to separate more families at the border? Really? You let in tens of millions of illegal aliens and wreck our country, and that's your concern? And he just looked at the guy, he's like, yeah, go away. Like, enough. He didn't yell at him, just go away. I mean, it's not even worth it, actually. And I think that posture is kind of what's needed right now. I'm not going to engage with you. I've tried for 7 years now, 8 years, to have a conversation in good faith. I used to try to book these people on my show. Not one person would come on my show to debate the other side. And then, of course, I got fired anyway. But it's like it's better just to be, like, calm and in command. And I think that restores tranquility to the country faster than any rhetorical argument you could make.
So that's high-profile national example, which is great. And I also want to give some folks an idea of what they might be able to do locally. And it seems as if you're saying, whomever you are, national profile, don't engage with these outlets that are dying, don't give them the oxygen, that there's also a lesson there about what we might do at the local level. What I hear most of all as I'm traveling the country from people like in this audience, I know you do as well, is, Kevin, what advice do you have for me talking to my local school board, talking to my local city council? They, of course, want to cancel us, but at some point, people are going to those meetings, especially school board meetings, because they are invested in it with their own kids and grandkids. What's your advice for them? Because and I think you know this, but our rationale at Heritage in asking that question is, we want this to be not just about DC and New York power centers. We want Americans after Saturday's tragedy to understand this is also about what we're doing in our lives on a daily and weekly basis, and to give people that advice about how to expand the ranks of this movement locally.
Well, I think Saturday is the inspirational moment to do that. And what's the lesson of Saturday? I mean, there are probably many lessons. One is, like, if a guy 150 feet away at a political rally climbs a ladder with a rifle, you know, maybe this whole system is not quite what we were told it is. Okay, sorry. So there's that. But the big picture takeaway is bravery is the essential quality. It's the essential quality. What's the takeaway from Saturday? Trump's going to be president because he's brave, period. Period. Like actually brave, physically brave, like facing death, shot in the face, and unbowed, unafraid, defiant. And that's the only thing that works. And I do think there's been so much whispering among the persecuted right about, wow, does this come to a time when we have to like physically fight back? And I don't think it takes that. You don't have to hurt anyone to save your country. You have to be willing to be hurt, however, period. You have to be willing to make a sacrifice. You do. And I think people are cowards. I'm just saying that. Sorry. No one in particular. There are an awful lot of cowards, me sometimes too. But Trump is a reminder that doesn't work. The only thing that works is bravery. So if you walk into a school board meeting, the first thing they do is seize the moral high ground unjustly. These are the people who have the least claim on the moral high ground. They're amoral. They're filthy, actually. They're sexualizing your children. They should be in prison. But somehow they manage through rhetorical tricks to make you feel like you're the freak because you want them to get their tentacles off your kids. And you've already lost if you allow that. And so the way to approach them, it's a matter of employing words, but moral force. You will not do that. I will not accept that under no circumstance.